Uh-oh, you 49er backers coming from the fraud Free to Find Truth blog are in big, big, big trouble. The winner of the Saints 49ers game is losing the rematch. You guys are in big, big, big trouble come January. It's time to get over it. Quit with the retarded, a Hard Rock collapse or the Saints are gonna lose. This collapse death tribute, Saints collapse. It's not how it works. It all boils down to storylines. They run the storylines by the numbers. I talked about it over 30 videos. Clue. With Drew Brees, when he was a free agent before joining the Saints, who was the other team in the running to sign Drew Brees? Miami Dolphins. And Drew Brees, number 9. 9 years later, after the last Stairway to 7, in which the Steelers lost the Super Bowl to Aaron Rodgers in the Packers, it's going to be Drew Brees that is going to beat Tom Brady. Now, I keep hearing that, they would never allow that matchup to happen because, they don't allow LeBron against Kobe to happen. Well, here's the difference, is that Kobe has 5 rings. LeBron's going to retire with 6. So, even if LeBron has more rings than Kobe, 1 more ring, Kobe's better because he beat LeBron in the finals. Well, even if Drew Brees beats Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, one guy has 6 rings and the other guy has 2 rings, so that's just dumb if you think that's gonna put a hamper on Tom Brady's legacy. He has the most Super Bowl rings out of any quarterback out there. He's gonna have more than Drew Brees and Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers combined. Drew Brees can retire with 2. Peyton Manning has 2. The other guy, Aaron Rodgers, is only gonna have 1. What bollocks are you on? You're not making any sense here. Sean Payton, Bill Belichick, Drew Brees in the 100th NFL season has everything to do with teams with tradition. So the 49ers against the Cowboys and then the Bears against the Packers, the 2 teams with the most combined championships in football history, are going to be playing each other in the playoffs in the 100th season. Packers scored 10 points in that game. Mitch Trubisky wears number 10. The Bears win out. They enter that game with 10 wins. Enough said about that. It's going to happen. The Super Bowl is going to be on the 33rd day this year. I already talked a lot about that. So Drew Brees, his free agency, the Miami Dolphins, the Stairway to 7, Drew Brees, number 9, 9 full Super Bowls would have been played between Drew Brees' first and last Super Bowl titles against Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Now, going back to that LeBron Kobe thing, alrighty, Drew Brees has been underrated, underappreciated, under the radar his whole career. The story of this season was leaving off of last year. What would have happened if they called the pass interference, right? The Saints should have won last year. And the Saints know that and the league knows that. Even though the players know they're scripted, they're still somewhat ultra competitors to a degree. Some of these players are businessmen. Some of these guys are not supposed to really know what's going on all the time. And so the Saints, they're getting the payback this year. They're getting that payback. They're getting that Super Bowl of the ages in the 100th season, featuring the 2 guys with the most touchdown passes all time. Both of them are going to pass Peyton Manning this year. Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Both of them are going to be playing in the Super Bowl. You guys think a male porn star is going to be playing in the Super Bowl? Porn star Jimmy, he's no more for his looks of being a male porn star than being a quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo's going to beat Drew Brees. Oh, boys, you smoking crap. You smoking that good stuff, if you think Tom Brady's going to be humiliated by his understudy, okay, you are on crack. I know a real quarterback when I see one. I know a real team when I see one. I know a fake scripted season out of nowhere, and you're back to being shit the next season. Prime example of this, 2015 Carolina Panthers. 15-1, 17-1, and they've won 6, 7, 8 games ever since. Right? Niners are not a good team. They're 4-12. They should be 7, 8, and 8 this year. They're not that good. They came out of nowhere because it's all supposed to be scripted for Jimmy Garoppolo after he tore his ACL to beat the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs to end the season on a high note until Drew the GOAT takes over, because that's what's happening. And so the Saints dominated today. They dominated that game all the way. Saints were never supposed to win that game. That game was all about getting the suckers to buy into the hype that all San Francisco's for real. They're going to beat everybody. Oh, they won at New Orleans, right? They won at New Orleans. Oh, they lost by 3 at Baltimore, yada, yada, yada. These outcomes are scripted, so you get the sheep to think that something's going to happen another way. Prime example, Chicago Bears. Everyone's saying, oh, they're going to make the Super Bowl this year. And now at 5-6, 6-6, people still don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl. But the whole point is that they're not going to make the Super Bowl, but they're going to reemerge as a Super Bowl contender by making the playoffs. But they're not going to win anything in the playoffs, though. Don't forget, a lot of people had a lot of money on the Browns and the Bears, and this is why it's a really interesting proposition. See both of these teams make it to the playoffs. Now back to the game. The Saints were the better team. They dominated that game. It was 26-13 the first quarter. Okay, the first quarter was not scripted. The Saints, well, Jimmy Garoppolo's touchdown was scripted. The Saints defensive back, he just falls straight on his back. He was not supposed to even touch the ball there. Drew Brees was torching San Francisco left and right. Drew Brees, the Saints were supposed to be the vintage New Orleans Saints in the first quarter, but then they stopped playing and they stopped trying after the first quarter because the game was scripted for San Francisco to win, so you start thinking that they're going to win the Super Bowl, even though you have absolutely zero clue what you just watched. Sean Payton threw that game. Who doesn't play Drew Brees in an entire series during the game? And that was the difference maker in the game. It was Taysom Hill was his name. Hill came into the game, played quarterback, 3 and out, gave the Saints score on that play, then they win the game, but they're never supposed to win the game today. It was all supposed to be the 49ers. So they start selling the 49ers onto the sheep, because that's what they're supposed to do. Oh, 49ers, Tom Brady's childhood team. That's what the gematria frauds at Free to Find Truth are going to start saying right now. And those people and their savior, their male porn star, are going to look really foolish because the elite out there are going to mock the people who had the male porn star in the Super Bowl. Now, pre-tribal, but it's supposed to be that way because there are only 2 GOATs and there's 1 male porn star. You should stick the porn after the playoffs in. You should probably stick the porn after he misses the playoffs next year because he's only in there because of his looks and because it's the 49ers and they want to script the 49ers-Seahawks rivalry. But the main script is the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees and company. Teddy Bridgewater, the backup quarterback, okay, people, he was from Miami, Florida. He was from Miami, Florida. That's where Teddy Bridgewater was born at, Miami, Florida. He was the one keeping the Saints alive. That should be the biggest clue right there, Teddy Bridgewater. But nope, no Teddy Bridgewater. You gotta start selling. You gotta start saying, oh, Saints are done, blah, 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 Teddy Bridgewater. But understand that the Saints games with Teddy Bridgewater were scripted too. You start winning all these games with Teddy Bridgewater out of nowhere, you should be able to shut them down. Like, Saints are a great team that built to win with anyone, anywhere, anytime, the run game. The Saints didn't try after the first quarter. It was 26-13. It was all scripted. Oh, the Saints lost to the 49ers, right? They get another try at the 49ers. That's a script of the NFC Championship Game. The 49ers going to beat the Cowboys. They get to go on the road to Seattle. They're going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. And then the fun ends for porn star Jimmy before the 49ers first place schedule next year. And then reality's going to hit them next year at the first place schedule. And then teams getting better in the division. And, the elite, they're like, hey, we're going to give you all the soft coverage, Jimmy. Like, we're going to script the season for you guys, and so you can beat the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs. We got to script it for you because this is the 100th season, and we need you in the playoffs. We need to hype you up. We got to hype you up to these people. We know people are not putting butts in the seats at Santa Clara. That we got to keep our little sheep over there under control. You got to get their asses in the seats in that stadium, right? Really expensive stadium, and you're not showing up to those games, right? Obviously, the scripted 49ers season is happening for a lot of reasons. The Saints didn't even try that game. They gave him the game. Drew Brees sat out, 3 and out, one drive. Right? The Saints blitzed him. They pushed them back. They sacked the quarterback. And then Saints were even trying to put pressure on them. But understand something. Fake runs come out of nowhere all the time. And you see it happen all the time in professional sports. You see it all the time. You see it all the respectful leagues. You even see the Philadelphia Eagles fake rigged Super Bowl run, and they were nothing. They had a fake run last year. Eagles are just good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not going to be 13-3. And Carson Wentz has proven to be a joke. It was a rigged, scripted run. And Nick Foles is complete trash. Like, Nick Foles is on the same level as Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff. Those guys are nothing special. And you see how they were when they can't do it year in, year out. Because the NFL has certain agendas for teams to win on certain years. Like the Falcons had the new stadium and they made it to the Super Bowl. And then Carolina Panthers, a black-white race ritual with Huey P. Newton being from the Bay Area, the Super Bowl being out the Bay Area. You had that, right? You had the Bears making the Super Bowl right before Barack Obama got elected, and the Bears were shit ever since. So Mike Tomlin win the Super Bowl right after Obama got inaugurated. The first, the Rooney Rule. Tomlin win the Super Bowl, right? It's all scripted. It shows you that the games are completely scripted, but the joke's on you. Who thinks that male porn star Jimmy is going to make Drew Brees 2 out of 2 this year? You all are tripping. You all retarded, and you don't think it's going to be Belichick Brady against Brees and Sean Payton. And against the Miami native, the quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. It's the Saints all the way this year. The NFL is giving it back to the Saints, and you all got played by the 49ers today on January the 19th of 2019. The Saints could be making it to the Super Bowl. Drew Brees and Tom Brady, the two most touchdown passes ever. Drew Brees is going to give Tom Brady a 6-4 record in the Super Bowl.